Welcome to AZREIA, the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. This is not another lunch and learn where we do this every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 1. We're always bringing in real estate investors and real estate service providers to help us become better investors. And our purpose here at AZREIA is to unlock and accelerate our members' ability to invest in real estate through education, market information, support, and networking opportunities so that they can elevate their financial well-being. So if you're just logging on, check us out on our website, AZREIA.org. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. We're on it all. Or you could join our mailing list. And Molly, I was thinking if we can drop the wholesaling ebook link in the chat as well, that would be great since we're talking about wholesaling today. All right, so let's keep moving. So what I usually do is I take the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, just to kind of let everyone know that's joining what we have going on at AZREIA. So I'm going to kick it off. As you know, January 9th is our monthly meeting. It's the second Monday of every month. This is the big meeting where we talk about the market update. We have the Cromford report, Tina Tambor, #1 analyst in the state, coming in to give us her perspective on today's market. You're going to get a good idea of where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going. This is very important to your real estate investing business. This is something you don't want to miss, and she'll start exactly at 6 o'clock. So please pre-register on our website, just in case. There's usually, especially when we have panels, there's usually the line out the doors. So if you just pre-register, you'll get your QR code and you can go through the extra line and just, pass the line and get right in so you can check out the report. So after that, we do our association update, let you know what's going on around AZREIA. And then we do 30 minutes trade show where you can check out all our business associates. So we have, property managers, real estate agents, insurance, real estate attorneys, construction companies, air conditioning companies, you name it, anything and everything you need for your real estate business is there. So you get to meet your real estate team. So after that, we'll break out at 7:30 and we'll bring on our wholesale panel. So we're bringing in an all-star wholesale panel, which includes Steve Trang of the Real Estate Disruptors, Jacob Blank, very successful young gentleman, started wholesaling when he was 18. He's crushing it right now. Ramon Martinez of the Dispo Sharks, dispoing massive amounts of deals. And then we have legendary Flip the Freedom, Sean Terry will be coming in. He's a nationwide wholesaler, local wholesaler, educator. So we're very excited to have him on the panel as well. So you don't want to miss out. January 9th, this upcoming Monday, pre-register on the website. Then we're going to roll down to Tucson the next day, Marcus and I, and we're going to do the same thing, right? And we're going to do this for our Tucson members. We will not have the panel in Tucson, but Marcus and I will be having a presentation on wholesaling and making money in real estate without any of your own money. Then the Phoenix Real Estate Club, that goes down on the fourth Tuesday of every month. We do that in our Central Phoenix office. What we like to say is, you go to the main monthly meeting, you meet a lot of people, you get a lot of new information, right? So you get the market update. So we say, hey, come down to the Phoenix Real Estate Club. Let's have more intimate, in-depth conversation of what's going on in our business. That's why we talk about what kind of real estate deals are you closing right now. So you got people closing land deals, mobile home deals, multifamily projects. So people lending money, raising money. So we kind of all get together in one room and you kind of get an idea of what everyone's doing, which helps your business. So the Phoenix Real Estate Club is the fourth Tuesday of every month. Our subgroups, we have about 13, 14 of these a month between Northern Arizona, Phoenix, Southern Arizona. So check out our calendar for these meetings. Just this week, what do we have? Today we're doing the call-a-thon with Michaela and Paul. So if you want to come down to the office, you want to learn how to talk to motivated sellers and cold call, they'll be there to coach you through that. So it's here at the office at 4:30 today. Tomorrow we got the buy and hold group with Garrick. So that's usually a packed class, 30, 40 people. So make sure you register and get in that one. Then hit on Saturday, we'll have the Bisbee group. So that's online and in person. So Alicia will be doing the Bisbee group. And then we also have Cash Flow 101 here at the office at 10 o'clock, playing the Cash Flow 101 board game. So you got to just get on the calendar, see what's going on. We have few events a week for you to come and learn real estate. Outside of in-person meetings, we have our forums are now on our website. So top right-hand corner of our website, we have general questions. We have a fix and flip topic, landlord topic. We do our property posting. So if you want to buy or sell real estate off market, go to our property posting section. We already have members closing deals in there. Then we also have the have and wants, so which we do at the Phoenix Real Estate Club. So if you missed the Phoenix Real Estate Club, we will put the haves and wants inside of this section of the forum. So go network with investors inside of there. Launchpad is coming up. That will be Saturday, January 28th. And that Launchpad is for those that are new to real estate investing. So if you don't know what you're doing, where you're going, how you're going to do it, this is the place for you. So it's for beginners trying to create a plan. So we're going to help you create a plan that's like the last 6 to 12 months. We're going to cover these 8 objectives that you see on the screen, right? So you're not kicking the can down the road a year later trying to figure out what you're going to do and why you haven't closed deals. So you got to have a target. You got to go towards and work towards. So we're going to help you put that target together. You're going to gain momentum and traction in your business by following this plan. So it's only $30 for members, $100 for non-members, and you can sign up on our website. Comping and wholesaling deals and writing offers, Wednesday, January 11th. So I'm going to put all this together. When you go to January 9th's event and January 10th in Tucson, we're going to invite you to hang out with Marcus and I on Wednesday. We're going to talk about comping wholesale deals and writing the offer to the homeowner. Okay, so it's going to be very important to be there. It's $50 for members, $70 for non-members. And then that weekend coming up, January 14th and 15th, Marcus and I, we've been doing the wholesale, build your wholesale business step by step for like the last 2 years. Very successful class. It's always pretty much sold out. We have a bigger room now, so I'm excited that hopefully we can fill that up. So what we're going to do is take a 30,000 foot view. We're going to show you all the components of a wholesale business: marketing, acquisitions, transaction coordinator, dispositions. So we're going to go over all the components, how to set them up, what they are. So when you leave this class, you're going to successfully be able to start your own wholesale business. All right. So make sure to sign up for the wholesale class January 14th and 15th. I think we already got like 20, 25 people signed up. So I'm sure we'll have limited tickets on that. February, Fix and Flip February, we're going to do training and bus tour with Tracy Royce. So if you're on Instagram, you need to be following Tracy. We're bringing in Home Depot. Home Depot is going to sponsor this event as well. So come see us Saturday, February 18th. Get your ticket for the bus tour. But half the day is going to be in the field looking at properties, and the other half of the day, or the rest of the day, is going to be talking about what we learned in that class or by walking those properties. So that's on our website as well. Members 99, guests 129. All right. What else? Real estate without the bank. So if you're familiar with infinite banking, investing through life insurance policies, Saturday, February 4th, Unbridled Wealth will be coming down. I think we're actually going to do the lunch and learn with them next week or the week after as well. So they also have been on our podcast. So Unbridled Wealth and Infinite Banking System, you can see them on our podcast or check the lunch and learn in a couple weeks, but they'll be here Saturday, February 4th here in the Central Phoenix office. It's $50 to attend. They're also going to be doing some type of lunch or dinner kind of event in Tucson the night before. So if you have any information on that, let us know. AZREIA show, Marcus and I have been doing this for 58 episodes. I think we have a few more in the queue, so we'll be surpassing that 60 mark here soon. The most recent one was with Patrick Allen. We actually talked about the house hacking book that he wrote, why it's the most affordable way to get started in real estate investing. So check out House Hacking by Patrick Allen. This just came out a couple weeks ago. Molly, we will put the link inside the chat. So if you wanted to check out the book, it's 99 cents for digital, $10 for the print copy. And also on the AZREIA show, we're going to be discussing we're recapping the last year. So that was a fun episode. We kind of let you know what we've done over the last year and what we're going to be getting into next year. Home Depot. So if you remember, we have the largest discount and benefit program in the country. You can't get anything like this anywhere else besides AZREIA and becoming a member. So you will get 2% cash back on all your purchases twice a year. So that's a huge chunk of change to kick back to you. We give about $1 million back to our members every year through this discount program. So if you're flipping, you're a landlord or whatever it may be, you want to have this AZREIA code hooked up to your pro account. So give us a call if you don't have that hooked up or you need any help. You'll get 20% off all your paint and liquids, appliance discounts, cabinet discounts. We have it all for you. So check that out. And we would love to have you part of the community and become a member. We have 2 programs. We have the basic, which is $125 a year. That is an a la carte kind of situation. So if you're going to become an AZREIA less than 8 or 9 times a year, I recommend the basic program. And then you pay $10 for the main meeting, $5 for subgroups. If you're going to be highly active, which you should be, you should do the plus membership, $249 a year. All subgroups will be free in the main meetings. Obviously, if there's training classes or any specialized classes, there's going to be a cost for those, but you get discounts as members to those classes. All the benefits we offer from all our business associates and our national associates, you do get discounts and benefits from everyone that provides a service to real estate investors. So all that is included in both memberships. All right, Marcus, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So thanks for hanging in there with me while I went over that. So we're going to be talking about how to make money in real estate without any of your own money, no money down, leveraging other people's knowledge, resources, you name it, their houses, whatever it may be. Marcus and I are going to break down, have some fun about wholesaling real estate. So
Yep.
Marcus, why don't you just jump in, let us know who you are.
Sure. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for the opportunity, man. As always, I'm Marcus Maloney, real estate agent and real estate investor here in the Valley, and I wholesale in multiple states. I've been doing this for nearly a decade. I don't want to age myself, but if you guys are looking at the screen, you can see the gray hair up top. So been doing this for quite some time, made millions of dollars by doing this. And I did this out of need and not out of greed. Moved my family here and I had a job offer. And once we got planted here in Arizona, that job offer was rescinded. So on my drive over, kind of go back, I was listening to Bigger Pockets, just happened to stumble upon it. Again, this was 10 years ago, and they were talking about direct mail and doing postage, and I didn't know what the heck they were talking about, but I just knew I had 24 hours of drive time from Illinois to Arizona. So I said, hey, let me listen. And from there, not knowing that was going to be the seed and the catalyst for me to really get started as a real estate wholesaler. And then once I got here to Arizona, I needed to learn more. I needed to learn the landscape. So I popped in on AZREIA. They were having a class. It wasn't a wholesale class. It was like how to find leads or something. And it was taught by Stuart. And from there, I just started and kept going, and then find myself 10 years later, closed multiple deals. I mean, quite a few deals, and doing this in multiple states. So it is true. You can get started in this business with low to no money down, but you just have to leverage your time, other people's time, and your resources in order to do it. So one of the questions that people always ask me is, what is real estate wholesale and how can you get started? So, Mike, forgive me, I didn't bring a slideshow or anything like that. You know, I figured with my 10 years experience, I could talk about this in my sleep. So I figured that's what we'll do. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Let's do it. Well, real quick, let me jump in before you kick that off. So we're gonna give away 2 tickets to our wholesale class, January 14th and 15th. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom, the way to participate and win this ticket is you either have to ask a question. So ask questions as many as you like, and or take a picture tag Arizona_RIA on Instagram, AZREIA on Facebook. Tag us with a picture of yourself watching the Lunch and Learn, and we're just going to pick 2 people at the end of the Lunch and Learn and give away 2 tickets. Easy.
Wow. So there you go. 2 free tickets to the Wholesale step-by-step class where me and Mike will be teaching you guys for 2 days, quite a bit of content. So 16 hours of content that you guys will be getting. All right. So what is wholesaling and how should you get started? So wholesaling is primarily finding a lead, finding a motivated seller. And what is a motivated seller? A motivated seller is someone that definitely needs to sell, but it's not a want to sell, it's a need to sell. So this is a person that is going through a bankruptcy, going through a divorce, going through a terrible eviction, and they don't have the money to do the rehab on the property. It's not having the money to do a rehab on a property. It's quite a few things that will stipulate a motivated seller, but it's basically someone that needs to sell a property. So they have an unwanted property that they need to sell. Okay. So once you find that individual, and we'll talk about, briefly how you find those people. Once you find that individual, then it's running your numbers, looking at comps in the area, and comparables are properties that sold within the last month to 3 months in that same area, like property. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you're looking for another 3-bedroom, 2-bath, normally within that same community, and you're trying to find out what the value is. So if your subject property is 123 Main Street, and then there's a property that sold on 123 Second Street, which is 2 blocks over from Main Street, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and that one sold for $400, and it's completely rehabbed and great condition, then that will be what's called your ARV, your after repair value. So what you would want to do is be able to negotiate with your seller and have a conversation with your seller to try and get that property as low as possible below that $400,000 mark. One of the things that we always say is, if you're embarrassed to present your offer, then you're probably offering the right amount. So at that $400,000, you're probably offering $275 to $310 for that property. And that's a significantly low amount for a property that's $400,000. Would you guys agree? Come on, give me some emojis, throw some hands up there, clap, something like that. So I know that you guys are engaged. All right. So that would be a significantly low amount. So, so you would present that offer and you would say, Mr. Seller, I understand that you are in a need to sell position. I can offer you, me and my partners can offer you $280,000 for this property in as is condition. You don't have to make any repairs. You don't have to pay any closing costs. We will save you money by not listing the property with the realtor. So that will save you 6% right off the top of what you would get. And that we can put that 6% in your pocket. How does that sound, Mr. Seller? And normally, if it's a need to sell situation, they will definitely want to entertain that offer because 1, they don't want to make the repairs on the property. 2, you have to understand that a lot of people here in Arizona and most other places, they own a home. So they may have got that home through a deceased family member or something like that, and it still may have a mortgage. So we already know that per statistics in America, it's difficult for people. 40% of the people do not have $400 in savings. So how can they pay for their current mortgage plus another mortgage that was just thrust upon them? They can't. So they need to sell that property. And that's where you come into play as being that helper and saying, let me partner with you. Let me show you. Let me help you buy this property from you.
So
Okay.
let me jump in, Marcus. So So everyone out there, so what he's talking about is what we'll, in our world, we'll call acquisitions, right? So this is the part where we're looking for motivated homeowners that want, like Mark said, need to sell. So there's marketing that needs to be done, and which is what we cover in the class. So there's different ways to market, right? There's texting, cold calling, direct mail, bird dogs, networking at local meetings, right? So a lot of different ways to build or attract these homeowners or find these homeowners to have these conversations with. So that's like the first one of the sections that you need to understand. Is there any questions around that anywhere online? So make sure asking questions gets you an opportunity to get a free ticket. So if you're new to wholesaling or you're trying to figure out what this is, I know you have questions because I did. So
yeah, I had a quick question. How do you go about doing it in a way that is not pushy? For like when you're doing the marketing, you know? I'm not sure
Sure.
that question makes sense. I'm super new, by the way.
Okay, not a problem, not a problem. Andy, by doing that, by not being super pushy, is you just want to have a general conversation with that seller, even in your marketing, even in your, so if you're on the phone, you're doing cold calling, you're just making an exploratory call. Hey, Mr. Seller, I was calling, we own a property or we're working on a property not too far from yours. Just curious to see if you had any interest in selling this property. And the reason why I'm calling you again is because we own a property not too far, and we want to see if there's someone else that would like a cash offer on their property. And this is what we can present to you. Is that fair enough, Mr. Seller?
And let's also keep this in mind. So where your question's coming from is more of probably like a sales perspective, right? I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be a car salesman, whatever the stigma is. So wipe everything out of your head, man. Right?
Yep.
You know, it's like, I always give the analogy of going to a yard sale and you want to buy a bike for your nephew or your niece or something. It's $40, right? You just go up there, you say, hey, I would like to buy the bike, right? Oh, why is there scratches on there? Why is the chain a little rusty? Well, oh, haven't taken care of it, haven't oiled it, whatever the hell the situation is. So it's like, all right, cool, I'll give you 20. That's it. You know what I mean? I'll give you $20. No, how about 25? All right, let's do it. Just like until you're in this business and you're doing, getting more skill set and so on, just don't overthink it. Just go in there and make the offer. This is a business, right? So yes, you're in real estate, but you're now a business owner. So you may also want to look into sales books, right? Just like
absolutely
learn the human communication, sales skills, that just get the fundamentals down as well. So, but in the beginning, jump in, just ask.
Because you want to identify the problem. What is the problem? Because a lot of people, what they do is they make mistakes and they just want to go in and they just want to throw an offer at somebody without clearly identifying what the problem is, because the seller may not have a problem with money. It may be they live out of state. How can you solve that problem for them living out of state and the property being here in Arizona? So it's really having that conversation. And what we normally do is we just let the sellers know in the beginning, hey, Mr. Seller, this is just an exploratory conversation. There's no guarantee that I'm going to buy the house. There's no guarantee you're going to sell a house to me. So let's alleviate some of that pressure and let's just have a conversation. Why are you interested in selling? Why do you need to sell? So it's really just having that conversation, Andy. It's not so much about, I want to try and close this deal or lock this deal up on that first conversation. If you can, that's great. But normally, it takes multiple conversations with that person in order to get them to close that deal with you. So think of it this way. If you go to a party and you're on the dance floor and you're dancing with the girl, you're not going to immediately say, hey, we're dancing. Will you marry me? No, it's, hey, we're dancing. You know what? Let's go to the bar. Let me buy you a drink. Or let me take you out to dinner. Let's date. Let's court. Let's get to know each other. And then after some time, you make that big decision and make that step. And that's what you have to do with each seller. You have to dance and play around with them and get to know them and get to know their situation and see how you can truly help them. Okay.
Right. Dating business.
Yeah.
Makes
So that's,
sense. Makes sense. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
learning
Yep.
wholesaling and dating at the same time. I love it.
Yeah, mix it all together, you know?
yeah, mix it all together.
So we got some questions, Marcus.
Okay.
Elijah, how would we find these motivated buyers to begin with?
Okay, so there's a few ways. Actually, right here in AZREIA, in this community, we're all real estate investors. We're all fix and flippers. We're multifamily investors. We're landlords. So right here, I think in this community is a great place to get started. So come to like the monthly meetings, or come to Prete, the I wants, I haves. Let people know, hey, I'm a real estate investor. I go out and I find off-market deals. Are you looking for any off-market deals for your next fix and flip or your next rental? And start having that engagement with them. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, that's why we brought Michaela on. So just stick around for a few more minutes. We're gonna bring Michaela on. She does dispositions here. We are houses, and she's gonna share some tips with us about finding buyers. So
yep. So
Lynn,
let me add one more to that question, Mike. So you got AZREIA, so networking, and then number two, use your local title company. So we have multiple title companies here at AZREIA. You can call those title companies and set up an appointment with them and ask to speak to their marketing department. And a lot of times they'll be able to give you that data of all of the houses that sold within the last 6 months that were cash transactions. And when I got started, what I did was I met with those title companies and I said exactly what I just told you. I want all of the cash transactions for the last 6 months, and I want the people that bought multiple properties within the last year for cash. So you automatically know those are cash buyers. You can get that information, skip trace it, which is put it in a database, get the telephone numbers of those buyers and give them a phone call.
perfect. So Lynn, I think I don't know if it's a question or a statement. They have a problem to pay the mortgage, and we are offering to help solve their problem.
Yep.
Yep.
So one of the things that I learned from Mike, and that Mike always shares with us, is it's an event-based business. So at one point, that event may not have happened. So you could have talked to a person 6 months ago, and that event of a divorce or deceased family member did not happen. But you call them 6 months later, the conversation will completely change, and they will then be motivated to sell. So consistency is one of the key things that you have to have when you're starting out as a real estate wholesaler. Do not start, stop, because you lose momentum and you lose traction.
Good point. Yep. So
okay.
Yeah, so if you're on some new people hopped on Facebook and Instagram. So if you're just joining us, this is not another lunch and learn. Every Wednesday at 12, we have a real estate discussion or learning lesson. So if you want to win tickets to the wholesale training, build your wholesale business step by step next Saturday and Sunday, drop some questions in the comments and we will answer your question, and you can win one ticket, 2 people, 1 ticket each. All right. Now, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
We got to find a seller. So people that need to sell, we need to do marketing efforts. And there's millions of ways to do it, to put yourself out there and have leads coming into your business. If you don't have leads coming into your business every day, you don't have a business. Your business will die, and you wonder why you're not closing any deals, right? So we're going to discuss marketing at the class, and then also how to talk to these motivate homeowners and get to the contract. So you talked about ARV, finding a comp, submitting an offer. So there's some sales and negotiation skills. We submit a contract, we get the contract with our name on it to buy the house at the discounted price. So what do we do next?
So one of the good things is Mike and I, we provide all of that for you. So the contract, you'll have all of that in hand. You'll know what to do with that contract. Then next, you want to start building your team. And one of your key team members is a title company. Here we have Fidelity National Title, we have Chicago Title, we have Empire West Title. We have plenty of title companies that will do creative things with properties and closings. So it's taking that next step and finding that title company. And you can engage that title company just by saying, hey, look, I'm getting started as a real estate investor. I'm exploring wholesaling. Do you all do assignments? do you all do double closes? So double transactions. Don't want to really dive into too deep into that, Mike, because that can spawn off into a whole nother conversation. But you want to ask your title company, do they do assignment agreements and do they do double closes? If so, then that's a title company you definitely want to work with, and you let them know, hey, I will be back. Remember, I'll be back and I'll have a transaction ready for you all to process. And the good thing about it is when building that team with that collaboration with that title company, their responsibility is to close transactions. So they want to help you close transactions. That's why they will provide you with cash buyers. They will provide you with list of properties that's going to foreclosure or auction or something like that. So finding that quality title company will be the next step for you to submit that transaction to get it closed. Now, once the title company has the contract, now you're on the clock. In your contract, you have what's called an inspection agreement. That inspection agreement clause gives you time to go out and find your end buyer. So what we normally do as standard practice in our other markets is we do a 14 business day inspection period. So it's psychological with the sellers. They see 14 days. They think, okay, 2 weeks. But when it's 14 business days, that really stretches out to like 21 days. So it gives our team 21 days to go out and find a buyer. So now what are we doing to go out and find a buyer? And I'm gonna let Michaela talk about this also, but we go out and we jump into Facebook groups. We go to real estate meetups. We skip trace buyers like we talked about, and we let them know exactly what we have. Hey, I have this property at 123 Main Street. You got it under contract for 280, but you're selling it for 290, and you're just looking for people that have paid 290 for that property. So you're out and you're working. You're talking to everybody. Hey, I got this property for $290,000. It's a great deal. After repair value is $400,000. So you can get this property for a significant discount. Once someone raises their hands, then the clock starts for them. But before we go to that, Mike, you want Michaela to share what she's doing to find buyers?
Yeah, let's bring her on. So just to kind of take it back. So as a wholesaler, we're providing a service. We're providing a service to the homeowner that will take this headache property off their hands. And when we look over to the buyers, and traditionally fix and flippers and landlords, right? They're looking for these properties to buy so they can buy it ugly, fix it up, make it pretty, and sell it to a family on the back end with a bank loan. So we're waiters and waitresses. We're taking orders. So we're going out to the market and looking for these buyers that want to buy these ugly houses and make them pretty. So what we need to do is put ourselves as wholesalers in the shoes of that buyer, like a fix and flipper. How do they think? So as a wholesaler, you need to understand how a fix and flipper thinks and how a landlord thinks. Meaning, how do they evaluate a deal? What is a good deal to them? What makes sense? So like Marcus said, if we locked it up with the homeowner at 280, we already thought like the fix and flipper. That's how we made our offer. Now we're finding that fix and flipper to come in. So they're going to say, hey, when we put our $10,000 on top of that 280 price that we're giving the homeowner, that 290 is a good deal to them, right? So that's the whole point of this. So who does that for our company, We Heart Houses? Michaela does that for us, and she finds the buyers. So Michaela, I want to bring you on. Are you on? Can we hear you? Can't hear you. Let's see. Lynn has a question. As a wholesaler, you still need to deposit earnest money, correct?
Yes, you do. And that earnest money deposit is all negotiable. So don't fall into the trap of thinking my minimum earnest money deposit has to be $1,000 or $5,000 or anything like that. A lot of times sellers do not even understand what an earnest money deposit is. There's numerous times that we went into transactions where we informed the seller, hey, we're putting up earnest money, and the earnest money is just a good faith deposit, letting you know that we're putting skin in the game to close out this transaction. So yes, it's always, you definitely need to have earnest money deposit sent over to the title company when you send over that contract. And it could be $100, it could be $250, it could be $1,000, whatever you want to write in there, that's what you want as your earnest money deposit.
Yep, definitely. So Michaela, can we hear you now?
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Awesome.
great.
Michaela, tell us who you are and maybe give us some tips on how to find buyers or what's working for you in this market. And if you need to use any analogies, use dating analogies so we can keep our
They might not like those because I usually
Okay.
cut them off at
All
the
right.
throat. So that's not gonna happen.
Love it. All right. Who are you?
But
What do you do?
well, thank you all for letting me talk a little bit about dispositions. I started, for those of you who are just starting out in real estate investing, I started right here at AZREIA 2 years ago. I joined as a member looking for a fourplex because I just knew you got to get a multifamily. And when I got in there, I found out all of these different strategies: house hacking, wholesaling, subject to. I learned all of that stuff just from one meeting. That was the beginners group that Mike was hosting. That's how I first met Mike and started coming to AZREIA. I was just shocked by all the opportunities that you could muster through this business. You just think, oh, I'm going to go to the MLS and pick a house off off the market, but that's not how it is. There's so many different creative ways to get a deal and grow your investment portfolio. So that's one thing. I am an AZREIA member. I started out as an AZREIA member first. Then I went to Marcus's and Mike's wholesaling class twice. I had to take it twice because, it's a mind shift. I was a teacher for about 20 years. So I'm used to, teaching English language arts and grading papers. This is a whole new mindset, even like, learning different skills, that type of thing. So I took the class twice. I've taken programs online. I've done a whole bunch of other things, just like a lot of you, watched tons of YouTube videos. That's how I learned more about wholesaling as well. But then when it came down to the brass tacks of learning how to do it, I wanted some people who could kind of hold my hand. So that's where Mike and Marcus came in, because they were like, we're here in Phoenix and we're at the AZREIA meeting. What do you need? So that's how I got to this position. So I'm very thankful and grateful for Mike and Marcus for helping me out to this point. It's just been a great life-changing experience. So I started out doing like a lot of you all, looking for sellers, calling on the phone. I had virtual wholesaler, virtual assistants calling for me, had a bunch of leads and, calling. But then sometimes once you get the deal, can you sell it? Can you move it to the next person? And so that was what I was coming up against a lot of times. Like, so the first thing, before I knew even about Facebook, and I know that sounds strange, but if you use Facebook socially, you might not realize that there's an other aspect of Facebook. But I just went online. I went to the AZREIA has a code where you can get a discount with batch. Is it batch skip or something like that? So I just pulled a bunch of cash buyers. So the zip code that location was in was like, let's say it's 85016. I can't remember the exact location, but I went to the internet and I said, okay, the batch 85016, and I needed all the cash buyers within the last 3 months, 6 months to a year, and then how much they spent. And then after I found that, I just started calling them. And then I would call and say, are you still buying? Are you still buying? Are you still buying? That's one way of finding cash buyers. And that's how I first started doing it. It was like whatever the property was, I would just look in that vicinity and see if somebody was still buying.
So real quick, so the subject property at hand that you have under contract with,
right.
You went to that zip code of that subject property.
Right.
Similar to what Marcus said, go get cash buyers from the title company or an agent. You went into batch, into their data, and look for cash buyers. Extracted every cash buyer in the last 6 months, a year.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then you got their phone numbers, and what did you do then?
I just would talk to them. I would just say, hey, I have a property under contract. I would tell them it's an assignment of contract and I'm direct to seller on that. And if you're interested in still buying, you let me know and I can send it to you. Some people say yes, some people say no. I think in some ways, if you're used to calling potential motivated sellers, calling cash buyers is a little easier because they're ready to spend money. They want a good deal. So if you put a good deal in front of them, they're going to check it out. So some of those buyers will go out and, go look at the house. They might drive by the house. If it's occupied, you have to set something up to make sure you get in the house, get the pictures and all that stuff. But that's not my job anymore. I'm disposition. So I just got to get it sold. So once you get the person who's interested, one thing that Mike beat over my head repeatedly, and I say it all the time because I kept not doing it, was qualifying your buyer, making sure that buyer is ready to go. So is that buyer saying, if you look at the pictures and if you see everything and you like it, are you ready to close within 7 to 10 days? And that is a very important question. And now the more I'm doing it, it's also to ask people, are you a wholesaler or a direct buyer? Nothing against my fellow wholesalers because we're all in the same game, but knowing that you're a wholesaler will help me. And it's look, just tell me the truth. It doesn't hurt me any, but I know now how to handle this deal, this lead. Because if you're a wholesaler trying to buy my lead, then I might talk to you differently than if you're the direct buyer trying to buy my lead. And it makes a big difference. So don't be afraid to tell the truth. I mean, it helps everybody in the long run.
And it's really, it's funny because the reason we pre-qualify the best you can is people like to waste time, right? Like we call time vampires, right? So it's like, hey, yeah, they'll just talk to you for 5 minutes and they don't even have any money. They want to buy in like 6 months and they want to talk to you about this property and they want the lockbox code and they want to go inside it and they want to wall. Like it makes no sense, right? So your time is valuable. So you just got to still talk to them, still build a relationship, work together in 6 months, right? So, so there's certain questions we could show you at the class that will help you,
qualify them. And the better the questions, the more you know what to do. So when your acquisitions team gets a lead, you know who exactly to send it to. So if you're trying to figure out, which buyer, you don't have to just blast out all your deals. You get those buyers that say, hey, I'm interested in Maryville. I'm interested in Glendale. I'm interested in Union Hills. Matter of fact, I do have someone interested in Union Hills. If you have a deal, let me know. And Happy Valley. But either way, just constantly telling people and communicating with the buyer helps you actually form a better, how we talk about the investor profile, which Marcus talks a lot about. What is your investor? What does your investor want? What do they need? What are their goals? Are they trying to buy 1 a year, 5 a year, 1 every 6 months? Then you'll know how to send them the deal. So looking for them online, like you said, Facebook, using Batch. And I'm going to share 3 websites that I've been using to put deals out outside of Facebook. Because, and you've probably heard, you can go to Craigslist, you can go to eBay. The thing about eBay is crazy because you'll see houses on eBay that people are trying to sell, but it's a lot of stuff going along with it that has to get sold. So I don't want to bother with eBay, but there's a website called cashnowhomes.com. They will let you post your lead for free. So you don't even have to worry. He wants to JV deals with you. You don't have to JV if you don't want to. You just want to get your lead out as many places as possible, and it's free. I had a call with this company called townsquare.com. It's TWNSQR.com. They will put your leads out. They also have a paid service like a lot of these companies, but you can put it out there for free. And if somebody's interested, they can find your deal. And then myhousedeals.com. Those are 3 websites that I put our stuff out there on once we get it. Plus, of course, Facebook and all the other ones that you could use to find cash buyers. Once you get those cash buyers, and if you get someone that's new, start talking to them even more. What else do you need? The same questions we said before, qualify them, because once they buy it, you also can tell your acquisitions person, hey, this zip code was hot. I got a lot of calls off this zip code. So then your acquisitions team knows, hey, I need to go back to that zip code and see what else we can find, because she has 5 people who are interested in that neighborhood. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Of course, enough Instagram, you can find me on Michaela Moves Houses, or TikTok, Michaela Moves Houses. And then on Facebook, I'm Michaela Chapman, or Chapman Michaela, actually, on Facebook.
So that's some great information, you guys, for, you know, finding that buyer's list, because that's one of the ways that you can reverse engineer your wholesaling strategy, especially if you don't have a lot of money. You can go out and you can find buyers, and you can qualify those buyers, like Michaela said. And if they're looking for properties in Happy Valley, then that's where you're going to target. Hey, I'm going to look for properties in Happy Valley because I know that this specific person is looking for properties in Happy Valley, so I can take it directly to him. And then also what those sellers will do, they will let you know, hey, you know what, I don't like this property because of this, or I like this property because of this. So you want to always have that engagement, have that conversation back and forth, just like you do with your sellers. You want to have that same engagement with your buyers. That way you can go out and you can find them exactly what they're looking for.
Marcus, can I add something else for sites? I don't know how I could forget this, because this, let me tell you where I got my cash buyers from. Most of my cash buyers came from AZREIA.
And
I
that's
mean,
what I told them.
I go to the meeting and then you listen and you share, you know, any upcoming deals, the acquisitions. I saw Paul, he just logged in. Paul works with us with We Are Houses, finding leads. And I'll go in and say, hey, this is what we have at almost any meeting. I know they have titles like buy and hold and fix and flip. Those titles don't mean anything. At every meeting, one of those, the facilitators will say, who has a deal? So if you announce at every deal, you're going to start building up your cash buyers list. And I started building my cash buyers list just from, I think 5 of my buyers are from AZREIA.
And the good thing about it is you don't even have to come to the meetings, because you can post them in AZREIA. We have the property posting section. So if you get a deal, you can post it there, and you have 3,000 people already ready to look at that opportunity and give you feedback.
Love it.
Yeah, but you know, come to the meeting. I mean,
Oh,
it's nothing like
absolutely.
it's nothing like
Absolutely.
talking to somebody face to face, and even like using the chat when they have these online chats. The last meeting of the year was December and it was online. I just posted in the group, same thing. Hey, just like I did to you guys today, my phone number, etc. And one of the cash buyers I just got contacted me through there. So we went through, I qualified him. He's a real buyer. You know, it's just another way, another great resource is AZREIA. And also local REIAs, wherever you at, find your REIA, you're going to find some cash buyers in that area.
So Michaela, I think we can both agree that just post it both, you know, go in person and post it on the forums. That way you can make sure everybody sees your deal.
Yeah,
Okay?
definitely.
Any other questions, guys? Come on. I want to make sure that we can answer your questions. I know we will go over a lot in the class, but if you got any questions, now is a good time to ask. We have about 5 minutes, or go ahead, Mike.
Start off, right? You find the motivated seller, right? You get the property under contract with a piece of paper, right? Now you legally control that property. You open up escrow at a title company, right? Very little earnest deposit. Now you have your inspection period. You go out and look for the fix and flipper or the landlord, right? So Michaela came in, Marcus gave some ideas how to find those buyers that will buy the contracts. Remember, we're not buying a house. We're selling a piece of paper. We're selling our interest in paper is what we're doing. Then you have the deal set up where it's profitable for that end buyer that you worked on finding. Now they're interested. They want to pay that price that you have it offered out at. So how do we get paid, right? I think that's why we're all here. So now you have to assign, we won't go into double closing, but for an assignment, Marcus, right? So we assign our interest in that original purchase contract to the end buyer for a profit, not a commission. We're not real estate agents, okay? So it's a profit. So we do an assignment contract with the buyer for in our scenario, we said 280 with the homeowner, 290 with the flipper. So we have a 10K assignment fee, and we sell our interest in the original contract for $10,000 profit. We now back out. They take our position as the buyer. Okay. So they're going to bring that 290,000 to the title company. 280 goes to the homeowner, 10 comes to us.
And the great thing about it is the title company facilitates everything. Only thing you have to do is during that time is checking in on your buyer. Hey, the title company is getting all of the title work prepared. Are you ready to close? We're ready to close. Hey, Mr. Seller, we got everything prepared. We're going to be closing on such and such a date. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. That's the only thing you have to do, is just stay in communications with your buyer and your seller.
So in that scenario, from finding the homeowner, getting the contract, assigning your interest in that contract to the end buyer brings the money in that pays the homeowner and yourself. Where did you use your own money? Did you actually buy the house? Right. So a lot of us were getting started in real estate. It's like, I don't have the money. I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right. I don't have whatever it is that you're thinking. You think you don't have it or it can't be done. So this is the process called wholesaling that allows you to flip houses or flip paper and make profit without actually going to the bank, raising money, and so on. So is that clear to everyone? Does anyone have questions around that?
So Lynn has a question. She says, what happens if you do not find a buyer by close of escrow? So you have your inspection period, Lynn. Remember, we talked about that 14 business day inspection period. You want to try and find that buyer within that 14 business days inspection period. If you can't find a buyer by then you can notify the seller, say, hey, Mr. Seller, you know what? During our inspection period, we noticed that the property is a little bit worse condition than we anticipated, or our funding partner that we were going to work with, didn't feel comfortable with the deal. So unfortunately, we either need to reduce our offer amount to you, or we need to kind of back out of the deal. Now, you don't want to go into a deal trying to back out of a deal, but that's the reason why you have that inspection period, because you can get your earnest money back as long as you cancel that contract before your inspection period is up.
Simple.
So, yep. So one of the good things about it is a lot of times you will have your sellers, they're eager, they're ready to sell, they're ready to be done with the process. They have already mentally checked out. The house is sold to them. So if you find a buyer that says, hey, you know what, 290 is a little bit too rich for me, you know what, I can only do 280, and you got the property under contract at 280, now you can go back to the seller and say, Mr. Seller, you know, we can't get it done at 280 like I anticipated, but I do have some great news for you. I can get it done, but we need to do it at 270, 275, and we can close immediately right away. I can send the paperwork over to you right now, and I can get that over to the title company so we can close by our close of escrow date. Sounds fair enough? Normally, they will say, yes, let's get it done. They may balk a little bit, but again, they have already checked out. The property to them is sold, so they'll take that slight haircut, or you may have to split that haircut and say, all right, we'll do it at 275. They get the extra 5, and you only get 5, and then the buyer gets the property. So yeah, it's just all in your negotiations.
So with that, so here we are, right? So as you can see in this business, it's always you're always looking for sellers, homeowners that need to sell. So that's part of your business. On the other end, you're always looking for buyers. So these are two buckets that you're always building and always growing. Okay, and then you're just connecting the dots. So and just like anything in life, it's consistency, right? Like Marcus hit it earlier. You can't just start looking for sellers, kind of take a break. Start looking for buyers, kind of take a break. You need to build that momentum in your business. So we're going to dive deep into all this and show you how to build your wholesale business January 14th and 15th. The links are in the chat. This will allow you to sign up for the class and grab your seat. I'm also highly encourage everyone to join us Monday night, January 9th at our Phoenix monthly meeting. Last time we did a panel, we had over 250 people there. So I definitely come in and get your seat, pre-register. Like I said, we have the all-star panel coming in. We have Sean Terry from Flip to Freedom, Steve Trang, Real Estate Disruptors, Jacob Blank, started at 18-year-old wholesale and real estate. And then we have, we're also bringing Brandon Simmons, super creative, subject twos, lease options, seller carrybacks. And then we have, who else? Or Ramon
Martinez
of the Wholesale Sharks. High level, powerful panel. come ask your questions, network, meet people, watch the market update by Tina Tambor. All that's happening on Monday. And take the class. So is there any last questions? Or
Well, one thing I do want to say, Mike, is it would be beneficial for you to come on Monday, because these people that we have on the panel, they train and they teach, and their trainings and teachings are not, you know, $1,500 or anything like that. A lot of them, it's $3,000, $5,000, $30,000 and up, and you can get a chance to ask these people questions directly and get answers immediately. So it's beneficial for you to definitely be in the building, and then you'll get a chance to meet Mike and myself and ask us some questions as well, and Michaela.
Awesome. So tickets. So the first ticket that we're going to give away for Saturday, January 14th and Sunday, January 15th, with Brandon Simmons going to be there as well, is Lynn Green. So Lynn,
congratulations, Lynn.
Congratulations. I love it. Love it. So what else? So Molly is on here. Molly, can you and Lynn connect, or however you want to do it, so we can get her registered in advance, and hopefully can make it on Monday, Lynn. And if you see me or Marcus or Michaela, come, and Paul, come say hi to us in person. And the second winner is Elijah. So Elijah, are you on here?
Great job, Elijah.
All right.
Uh-oh, is Elijah still here? You don't want to miss your opportunity.
Throw a little yes in the box, or all right, we're gonna count to 5, Elijah. You're out. You got to be here.
4, 3, 2, 1.
That's the tough part about Zoom. People are here, but then they're not. So what else? Let's pick some. Who else asked a question? Let's go with Andy.
All right, Andy, are you still here?
Yes, I am still here. I was
All right.
driving. I was sitting in the chair.
Great job.
Switching to driving.
All right,
Great
buddy.
job, Andy.
So
Thank you.
And Molly, Andy's driving, so I don't know the best way. He's probably not in the chat, but M Matthews at AZREIA.org. Just call the front office or email Molly, and we'll get you registered.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Love it, man. Look forward to meeting you in person. All right. So we got Not Another Lunch and Learn every Wednesday at 12. Thanks for everyone for being here. Next week is Wholesale week. So everything, the 9th in Phoenix, 10th in Tucson, Wednesday, Central Phoenix headquarters. Marcus and I are teaching you how to comp and write offers. And then Saturday and Sunday, join us with the Wholesale class. And we're out. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.